There are 331 million people living in the United States. Of those 331 million people, only 67 million people can speak a second language. That's astonishing, right? You'd think that more people would speak a second language, but that's not the case. I have read articles and books and credible websites to learn about the advantages of learning a second language. So today, I will talk about the advantages of knowing a second language in the workplace, and then I'll talk about the advantages of knowing a second language and what it does to your brain. Knowing a second language in the workplace has so many advantages for you. There's a scholarly journal by Juan Madera. He conducted an experiment with two managers, one manager that speaks one language and one manager that speaks two languages. And the point of the experiment was to see which manager could lead their group into a better, more successful outcome. The outcome of this was that a manager is able to lead employees on a new task in a faster, more efficient manner than a manager who does not speak a second language and has not worked in a diverse environment. So, when knowing a second language in the workplace, you can have more communication with people who don't quite really know their English that well. And then, according to the New American Economy, the amount of jobs that are aimed for bilingual people has increased. In 2010, only 240,000 jobs were aimed for bilingual people, whereas 5 years later, in 2015, 630,000 people could apply for a job if they were bilingual. That tripled in 5 years. So, when having bilingual in your resume, you have more chances of advancing in the hiring process. Now that I have talked about the advantages of knowing a second language in the workplace, I will talk about the advantages of knowing a second language and what it does to your brain. There's this book called The Bilingual Brain by neuroscientist Albert Koska. He said that people who speak two languages appear to have more activity in the left frontal lobe and temporal lobe when asked to read out loud or name a picture. This picture right here, this is the frontal lobe that he talks about, which is right here, and then this is the temporal lobe. And the left frontal lobe is your Broca's area. The Broca's area is where writing and speaking a second language is activated. So when you exercise it by learning a second language or just by speaking. So it promotes more activity in the brain. And then, according to the Washington Post, learning a new language decreases the brain from aging, and by aging, I mean that it promotes faster communication. In your brain, there is white matter and gray matter. White matter has to do with communication because there are many neurons. These are the neurons in the white matter. These are right here. They are wrapped in a sheet, and that causes communication between the neurons to be faster. So when you learn a new language, you are promoting more communication and more activity. It speeds up more. There are thousands of neurons in your brain. And when you learn a second language, you exercise all of the neurons that are in your brain. So today, I talked about the advantages of knowing a second language in the workplace, and then I talked about the advantages of learning a second language and what it does to your brain. I encourage you to go on and download this app called Duolingo. This app is super good for learning a new language. It helps you learn a new word every day, and you can do exercises if you want to on the app. So go on, download it, and Learn a new word every single day until you can form a sentence. And once you can do that, I encourage you to keep going. Learn a second language. It will be really useful in the future.